Joining us now is former Defense Secretary William Cohen. Secretary Cohen, thanks so much for being here tonight. I've got to ask you, senior military officials say thousands of DOD employees might have had access to these documents. Does that sound right to you?
It does sound right to me, and it raises a point that Senator Pat Moynihan raised years ago, saying we overclassify information. We have too many documents that are classified. And then I would add one other thing. In addition to classifying and overclassifying, the security has become lax. We've become sloppy. We've had former presidents who have taken documents after they left office. We've had a former vice president, the same thing, President Biden also. So we've become pretty lackadaisical, I would say, in terms of maintaining the security. This information is critical to our national security. So this is embarrassing, to be sure. It's serious, and it could possibly be fatal, depending upon, was this based on human intelligence? Can the Russians and others go back and re-engineer this so they can figure out who's leaking information on their side and how's it getting to the United States and our documents?
Right. That's one of the big things that comes out of this, is that it clearly shows we have somebody inside the Russian government, inside the Russian military, telling us what's going on, when they're going to strike, what attacks are planned and where, and that we were then telling Ukraine, according to these documents. If that's true, it has to be human intelligence, and that person's in danger.
We rely upon human intelligence, and from the very beginning, when Putin went into Ukraine, we were seeing information coming out predicting what Putin was going to do, and many of us, including myself, were on television saying Putin has a problem. He's got a mole or many moles inside of his intelligence community, and he doesn't know where it's coming from. So to the extent this is leaked and they can trace it back to who it is, then that person has a choice of either running for his life or staying put and seeing if the KGB or his successor tracks him down or her down.
Well, Putin has a problem, and so does the United States government, because somebody obviously is leaking this stuff. It appears, if you look at these photos, that someone took photos of these top secret documents. They had been unfolded and were resting apparently on top of a hunting magazine when they were photographed. Can people just walk out of the Pentagon with top secret documents folded up in their pocket?
They should not be able to. And again, that's one of the, I would hope Congress would really become involved here and order a massive investigation and a changing of the rules, because we have become, again, too lackadaisical, too sloppy, too inefficient in handling these documents, and people's lives are at stake. When we hire people or get people to spy for us, their lives are on the line for us. And so we spend billions of dollars collecting information, national technical means, human resources, and when we have leaks like this, they're in danger, and also our credibility is then put in question. So it's not a good story. It may not be as bad as we think it might, but we don't know what we don't know. But I'd say it's embarrassing at the least. The fact that we have been spying on allies as well as enemies, that's not news. We have some of our closest allies, and I've seen this up close and personal, of our closest allies spying on us throughout the day and year.
So, Secretary Cohen, what is the process for finding who did this? I mean, I know there's a criminal investigation underway from the Justice Department, an investigation by the Pentagon. Do they start with everybody who had access to this, all those thousands of people, and then question them all? I mean, and how confident are you that they actually will find this person?
It's very difficult to track down when there's a leak of any kind of information. The bureaucracy is huge. 1,000 people or more have access to it. Are there fingerprints on the documents? Can they determine who it is? It's going to be a very difficult order, but it seems to be that the Joint Staff had access to this information and may be producing the product to give to the president and to all of the cabinet members who are involved in this. It's going to be very difficult to track down to see who did what and whether the information is all accurate, whether it's been, could it be misinformation coming? Could somebody be planning information? We don't know any of that.
Right.
All I would say is,
there's been a lot of denials right now already from Egypt, for starters, among others. But, Israel about the Mossad charges. A lot of people are saying, yeah, but it's not even true.
Well, we don't know. As I said, we don't know what we don't know. It's going to take time to find out. There'll be more information coming forth. That'll be more embarrassing if that takes place. One would hope that this is it for the time being, but I suspect we're going to see a lot more information coming out.
Former Defense Secretary William Cohen, thanks so much for being here on this important story tonight. Hope you'll be back.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.